In the first question, we're asked to work out the perimeter of this rectangle. So perimeter is the distance around the shape. We know this length, and in a rectangle, the opposite length is also the same. And opposite that side will also be the same. So what I'm going to do is add the 2 quarters. So that's the first step. 1 quarter plus 1 quarter equals. Now the denominators are the same. So I put the denominator as 4. 1 plus 1 is 2. And 2 quarters is the same as 1/2. And how do I know that? Because they're both even numbers, I can divide the numerator by 2, and whatever I do to the numerator, I have to do to the denominator. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So 1 quarter plus 1 quarter is 1/2. My next step is to add these two. 1/5 plus 1/5. Again, the denominators are the same. It's 5. And I simply add the numerators. 1 plus 1 is 2. Now I need to add 1/2 and 2/5. And I'll do that up here. 1/2 plus 2/5. Now the denominators are different, and I need to find the lowest common denominator. And I'll do that using my times table. So I'm going to do the 2 times table and the 5 times table. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and so on. And 5, 10, 15, 20, and so on. Now if I look at this list and this list, I see that I have a 10 and a 10 in both lists. And that's the lowest common multiple in both. So I need to turn this 2 and this 5 into a 10. So how do I turn this 2 into a 10? I multiply it by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the 5th number along. Whatever I do to the bottom number, I do to the top number. So I multiply the 1 by 5. Now I'm going to move on to this fraction. I need to turn this 5 into a 10. And I multiply it by 2. Why? Because 1, 2. It's the second number in the list. And whatever I do to the bottom number, I have to do to the top number. Now I'm going to concentrate on this fraction. Put my fraction line down. 1 times 5 is 5. And 2 times 5 is 10. This plus goes down here. Fraction line. 2 times 2 is 4. 5 times 2 is 10. Put my fraction line down. These two are the same, so that goes at the bottom. 5 plus 4 is 9. So my perimeter is 9/10 of a centimeter. So if I walk around this shape here, I'll end up with 9/10 of a centimeter. I want you to know that perimeter is measured in centimeters and not centimeters squared. In my next question, I'm asked to work out the area of this rectangle. Now to work out the area of a rectangle, you multiply the width by the length. So let's replace the width with 4/9, and let's replace the length with 1/2. Now remember, whenever we multiply two fractions, we always multiply straight across. We multiply straight across. 4 times 1 is 4. 9 times 2 is 18. Now, I can simplify this fraction because they're both even numbers. So I can divide the numerator by 2, and whatever I do to the numerator, I do to the denominator. So I have to divide the denominator by 2. Fraction line, 4 divided by 2 is 2. 18 divided by 2 is 9. So the area for this rectangle here is 2/9 of a centimeter squared. So let me write the area here. 2/9 centimeter squared. So these are the units. A lot of students get this wrong. Area is measured in square centimeters. Now the third question, I've been asked to work out the perimeter of this triangle. And remember, perimeter is the distance around a shape, and it's measured in centimeters. There's lots of ways of doing this question, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the quarter and the half first. If you notice, the denominators are different, and I need to make them the same. I can see straight away I can turn this 2 into a 4. I simply multiply the denominator by 2. Whatever I do to the bottom number, I have to do to the top number. So I multiply the 1 by 2. So now I have 1/4 plus 1 times 2 is 2. Fraction line, 2 times 2 is 4. Now the denominators are the same, so I can put my denominator at the bottom. 1 plus 2 is 3. So if I add 1/4 and a half, I end up with 3/4. So I want to keep hold of that number. So now I need to add 1/3 to 3/4. So I'll do that here. 1/3 plus 3/4. Now I can see the denominators are different, and I need to make them the same. So I need to find the lowest common multiple. So let me do the 3 times table and the 4 times table. 3, 6, 9, 12. 4, 8, 12, 16. So if I look at this list and this list, I can see that the number 12 is the lowest common multiple. So I need to turn the 3 into a 12 and the 4 into a 12. So I multiply the 3 by 4 because it's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the fourth number along. And whatever I do to the bottom number, I do to the top number. 4 times 3 gives me 12. 1, 2, 3, that's the third number. So that's where the 3 comes from. And whatever I do to the bottom number, I do to the top number. Now I'm going to look at the first fraction. 1 times 4 is 4. 3 times 4 is 12. Plus, that goes in the middle. Fraction line, 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 3 is 12. Put the fraction line down. The denominators are the same, so I put the denominator down as it is. 4 plus 9 is 13. Now if you notice, the numerator is bigger than the denominator, so this is an improper fraction. I need to turn it into a mixed number. So I ask myself, how many 12s can I get from this 13? I get 1, remainder 1, and the remainder goes at the top, and my fraction line goes there. And this here is 12, so that goes at the bottom. So 13/12 is 1 and 1/12. So the perimeter of this triangle is 1 and 1/12 centimeters. And it's not centimeters squared because it's a perimeter, not an area. Now for the fourth question, I need to work out the area of this rectangle. I have a proper fraction and a mixed number. And remember, the area of a rectangle is the width times the length. And in this case, the width there is 1 2/3. So let's write that down, 1 2/3. That's a mixed number because you have a whole part and a fraction part, times the length. And the length is 5/6. 5/6. Now I want to turn this into an improper fraction. And remember how we did that? It's the big number times the bottom number. 1 times 3 plus the top number plus 2. Fraction line and 3 at the bottom because the denominator is 3. Times 5/6. So let me simplify this. 1 times 3 is 3, plus 2 is 5. 5, and then the 3 goes at the bottom. So that is 5/3 times 5/6. So you have two fractions, and we always multiply straight across. So 5 times 5 is 25, and 3 times 6 is 18. So I now have an improper fraction where the numerator is bigger than the denominator, and I can turn this into a mixed number. So let me write that there. Now I ask myself, how many 18s can I get from 25? I can get 1 18. And then I have a remainder of 7. I have 7 18ths. Now the area for this rectangle is 1 7/18 centimeter squared, or square centimeters. Remember, area is measured in square centimeters, not only in centimeters. That's a mistake a lot of students make, so be aware of that, please.